Alright, Big Bad Voodoo has come up with the best custom maps of 2021. So we're gonna go through this. Alrighty. Okay, so first things first. That's an S tier. I'll tell you what, it actually is legit S tier though. I'm gonna go through these quite quickly and then I can sort of rehash them afterwards. And the trick is I've got to try to remember this. That's like an art of defense type map. Most of those are going to be like an A or a B, to be frank with you, and that's the same sort of thing. And that one as well. I mean, you know, that's a good map for what it is, I suppose, but it's not like a stellar map in a way. But that's a paint by Warcraft 3, so you do a little art competition. So need a trash tier, fine. I'll make D tier trash. Sometimes there's good trash though, do you know what I mean? Good enough. Alright, there you go. Blood Tournament is pretty bad, to be fair, but it is actually like a fun map. But if it's somewhere like that where it's bad and then it's fun, then it will just go good enough. I'm trying to remember that one. I think that's art. That's you fight up the lanes and then there's a secret item at the bottom left or something along those lines. Obviously, I don't have the names of all of these, so I don't necessarily know what they are. 8-bit is like super good, but is it super good for everyone? I think it is for what it is. You know, like it is really fucking well made. Like that's a top notch map. That's trash. Nah, I won't be that rude to that. It's good enough. It's still work in progress from Stylo. Certainly a well-made map, but it depends on how much you're enjoying it. It depends on how well your fighters are auto-fighting. A lot of this stuff, it'll probably just go good enough, because Seven Taurans, you know, like that's an okay map. You sort of like RPG, but I wouldn't sort of stellar it up too much more. Battle tanks, you know, I enjoy it, but again, it's not like a map. These are ones like I kind of look forward to, like and good fun time. So we'll put that Pig Farm Survival just ahead. 300 Spartans. Let's say like in between those two. I think that's pretty enjoyable again for what it is, but there's a lot of sort of same old. Builders and fighters. Okay, this is just going to get so infiltrated. Bossius Maximus. Again, that's sort of like a hero defense. Well, hero arena really. 2 teams, and you pick your hero, you pick your items, and you go for it. Are You Alaka? It's definitely good enough. Arena of Ancient is definitely good enough. Sort of like goes on a little bit long, that one. I think like I don't know if it's bad. Black Temple. It's a bit dull in a way. It's sort of like a World of Warcraft, but the abilities and stuff like that aren't that sort of super exciting. The only thing that's interesting about it is really fighting against the bosses and their abilities, and then it's kind of still easy to do. Build and Brawl is actually pretty well made for what it is. It's between that and a good fun time, but I'm not going to quite put it in there. The only reason to have another category would be just to basically find more slots for these maps instead of putting them all in the same area. If I don't remember some of the maps, you have the playlist of all these ready. Alright, well... Okay. You can always link that to me and then I can maybe refer to it if I need to. Catcherism is... You know, I mean, honestly... It's actually fairly enjoyable to play, but it crashed so many times when we tried it, I've got to move it over to bad. Anything to do... I mean, this is bad. This is... Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, let's make one more category. Because we need to acknowledge... Add a row above. There's maps that are definitely bad, but they're fun. So let's put that in there. There's actual legit trash, and then there's actual fun trash. Okay, there we go. Custom Team Survival was actually definitely good. You could almost bump it up to but I don't think it quite deserves that status because it's a bit samey. But it's, yeah, it's a well made. I really like maps like Dalaran University, like maps that give you sort of challenges and there's single scenario challenges, and there's all different types of them. So that's again between that and that. I think we'll try to reserve this for like just a few maps. Otherwise, this will definitely go up there. Dire Defense. I'm trying to remember what that is. That one I'm not so sure. Got 2 Life of a Dragons here for some reason. Oh, okay. This was that. Select him again. Map that was created by the guy. Move him again out of the way. He actually did, like, this is a more advanced version of the base Warcraft 3 map. I think I was supposed to have more gold at this point in the day, where you have to sort of avoid the sheep and stuff like that. It was well made, but I think there was a massive issue with the hotkeys for me. And I felt like you had 2 buildings more than you needed to control. So it's kind of like well made, but it would definitely go in good enough. It's not something I would necessarily look forward to playing. So at least I know what that is. Close to bad. Canned bread is pretty much like definitely a good fun time, if not close to I don't think, again, you can put that necessarily in but it's easily a good fun time. Dalaran Arena, honestly, it deserves good enough, but it could go in bad because it's kind of predictable. Like, I think I might actually put DL Hero Siege in only because I have such a bias towards that map. It's a hero defense, but it's so damn good. I mean, we've kind of played it 4 times now. We've kind of played it through. I don't think there's really much else to learn from it if I was to play it again. But, yeah, you know. I actually think the Blizzard Tower defense is definitely like either good enough or good fun time. I definitely enjoy it. We'll put it in the good enough, though. We can't necessarily put a good fun time. Ice Escape was definitely a good fun time. I think we had a lot of fun trying to work that one out. Amogus. It's pretty bad, to be honest. I mean, the map itself is endearing, and it's a basic map, you know. I'm not taking it away, necessarily. The map was fine for what it was, but there wasn't much to do. Dragon Ball was pretty bad. But then again, I'm a little bit biased against that. It's just like unlimited farming, not much going on. My character was too strong, and then it crashed. Funny Bunny's Egg Hunt is like definitely within the good enough, if not into the good fun time. I do enjoy that map, actually. Yeah, Paddy, ha, Paddy. But I don't think it necessarily deserves good fun time, even if it is, sort of thing. X-Hero Siege, back in the early days, I would probably put that in good fun time, but I think we've played that map quite a few times now, and there are moments in it where it is actually kind of dull, so I don't think it necessarily gets that. What's this? V5 No Limits. I don't know what this No Limits one is. Gonna have to scroll. No Limits? Any No Limits in chat? That ain't a custom game. Is it in the custom game list then? Oh, I see. Aha. It kind of is a custom game. Sometimes this is one of those deals where you don't quite know where to put it, because it's almost custom game enough that it's not exactly a melee, but it is an altered melee, yeah. But sometimes it ends up in the custom game list. That was the one with the busted archer. That was pretty bad, to be honest. It's just like, it had potential to be really good. Like, I was setting up all these towers and stuff like that, but then the towers didn't mean anything.
Oh, she's immune to magic.
Literally just turn up with an archer and just destroy everything with right clicks.
How strong is she?
That's pretty balanced. Probably potentially even put that in trash, actually. Even though I don't hate it that much. So where was it? I've lost track of it. When I find it again, I'll put it in its place. Capture the flag. You know, that's okay, those maps, but I'll just put them in bad because I don't find them too interesting. That one was actually definitely good enough. I think people quite like that map. That was the Women's Day map. The map I did on Women's Day. Where there's a whole bunch of female characters. Like a weird RPG. Kind of seemed really basic, but there was quite a few secrets to it. Dixels, I kind of always enjoy, but I don't think it necessarily deserves a good fun time. So I'll definitely stick that in good enough. Footman Frenzy. I really don't like Footman Frenzy maps since like the early days. It was only good in the early days. I'll just put it in bad. Escape Scary Forest. That was pretty damn fun, to be honest. I will have a little bias, to be honest. Like, I like tower defenses, I like hero defenses, and I like platform / escape type maps. So those kind of things, like mini games and stuff like that. If a map has those, then yeah, it's going to do pretty well. Boss battles, very well made map, but it sometimes, I don't know, it doesn't always excite me as such. It just go by the numbers. Good enough. Balanced hero scroll is basically bad or trash. A lot of time and effort was put into that map, but we played it way too many times now at this point. Fallen Scrolls RPG, I think, is the same thing. It's basically best balanced Fallen Scrolls. Yeah, hero character defense. I mean, that sounds pretty bad, that map. That was kind of like another one of these Dragon Ball Z, go around, kill a bunch of stuff. It looked cool. The only thing I liked about it really was just the character models. Heroes Beta I actually enjoyed. It's just a shame it wasn't finished. It would deserve a good fun time if it was actually put in a good place. It was so simple and basic, but there's like a simplicity that's kind of fun to embark upon as a team. Phase TD, that was actually well made. Good fun to sort of work out how to beat that. I don't think I could put that too much higher though necessarily, because it's kind of like a one and done. Not going to necessarily revisit it. Stylo. It's, yeah, I didn't like this map too much myself. I know Stylo put a lot of effort into it. It's like a Friday nights, Five Nights at Freddy's kind of map, but it just doesn't do it for me. Go Fish would have to go good enough. It's not really a bad map per se. There's just not much going on in there. But it's just pretty good if it's between there and there. Heroes and Armies. I kind of remember this, but could do with a little refresh. Oh, this is a AOS. This is where we got destroyed in the long run because their heroes were just better at stun locking. It's kind of bad or good enough. Somewhere like that. I'll put it in bad because the balance was just terrible. I always lose track of the last one I was just doing because it's somewhere else. Put it in bad. Grab the Chicken. I mean, simple enough map. Pretty basic. I'll just put it in bad. Not necessarily because it's bad, but I don't think it's as good as these maps. It's kind of along those lines. Icewind was actually pretty well made. That's like a better version of Battle Tanks or something like that. So it would definitely go higher up on that for me. It's actually done by Lisk as well. This and he's the same guy did like Phase TD. But yeah, Legion TD2 creator. But this is actually kind of fun to play. I almost prefer this one to the actual battleships map. Light versus dark, that looks like it's trash. Tower Wars. Bill. What the heck is this? Oh, yeah, it was okay. There wasn't much variety to it though, in reference to what we were actually doing, so I just put it in bad. Like, if it's in bad, it doesn't necessarily mean it's actually legit bad. It's just, it's not as good as the stuff above it. Kex Tower Defense. Kex TD. Remind me. Oh god, look how basic it is. That's a good sign. If it's that basic. Ah, this is, yeah, this is like kind of, brown isn't the player, it's the computer. It's just show. Loosen up a little bit. And my aim. Like, now that doesn't necessarily, you would think that should go in bad, but I actually have a slight bias towards janky maps. I prefer maps that are sort of more simple, but actually are just fun to play because of how bad they are in a way. So you could either put that in fun, maybe we put that in the fun trash category, even though it might, fun trash should probably go above bad, maybe. Oh, I don't know, it's just a way to look at it, isn't it? But yeah, put it in the fun trash. We've got a map that's actually legit just, I just called it trash. Liquid Tower Defense Lottery. Oh, that was awful. Yeah, I don't even need to see that, I remember that now. Come out of that. That was Kekfit level. Killing Spree. We must have played that early in the year because I don't remember playing that later or recently. That was August. What the hell? Oh, yeah. No, this was actually quite good. It's a little stupid. It's got like in some places. But I think this is kind of like hero defense that's fun enough. It keeps throwing waves at you. I'm not the biggest fan of like horde maps. You know, those maps where it's like, oh, survive. And it just keeps throwing, you know, bad guys at you. I've never really enjoyed that style myself. But this is like a good cross between that and, you know, kindergarten tower defense. Actually pretty well made. Basic, but you know that can go on for a while, and you've really got to sort of mix it up a little bit with what you're building as you're building up. So that's definitely good enough. What's WoW? Oh, that's going to be such a basic trash tower defense, isn't it? I didn't call it that though, so I'm not sure. Then I don't know that. It's not called WoW. That's just the thumbnail title. Amogus? Amogus? Higher. 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 I'm looking for like the background of it. I should just be looking for the thumbnail part that says WoW. Yeah, I was looking like for this kind of brownish background. I don't know why I was doing that. Just look for the big word that says WoW. Good luck. Indeed. Okay, I get it. Oh, this is that map that Fred effed up on. I remember now. Yeah, we were actually going to do it, and then Fred screwed up. This is kind of like a jank. There's only one tower that was actually legit good. It was that Starfall tower. And then everything else was just like nowhere near in comparison. And then there was levels that attacked. What if it's more than 99? Then I guess we carry on. Level 85 as well. 85 levels. I think we'll put that in good enough at the bottom. So I don't worry too much about it. It's just because it's a bad map. But I think we got some value out of it. So it's right there in between that and bad. Life of a Dragon. That was fun. It's a well-made map. Definitely without a doubt. But I think our experience during it was a little bit tainted because everyone was miserable. So I think I'll just keep it in the good enough for now. This one, I remember doing the thumbnail for this. It's another Lord of the Rings one. But it was one of the bad Lord of the Rings one. And it's recent. Just can't remember exactly what it was. That's a good... That was Lord of the Rings Risk. Oh, yeah, Lord of the Rings. Oh, this is the one that was... Yeah. I got screwed over on this one. I got screwed over on this one. It's trash. It's bad. Trash. This one was actually pretty well made and fun to do, the Strongholds. I'm not really a fan of risk maps, but... I think... It had good potential, so it definitely goes in good enough, you know. And I think if you were a fan of risk maps, you would put it even definitely higher. Life of a Peasant, again, that's good enough. It's an interesting map. It's obviously a lot of effort put into that. It's the same sort of thing. Life of a Dragon. But, you know, I'm not having a stellar time playing it or whatever. Legendary Resistance. It's trash. Oh, I feel bad. Poor map maker. He's put so much time and effort into it. And he never stops. He keeps bringing out like a new version where like one hero now has like 2 more stamina and then releases it as a brand new edition. But I think we've played that map to death now at this point. Literally to death. Trollforged. It's fun action. Circle TD. Has its issues though. Definitely crashed from time to time. Getting that to work with Reforged. But it's okay. It goes in the good enough. Legion TD. We can obviously put that good fun times. I've played Legion TD to death now as well a little bit. So, you know, you'd have to really change up the map to sort of get too much value out of it. Frostcraft was actually a well-made Dota style map. So, you know, that can go up there. Wouldn't necessarily keep revisiting it though. But I do appreciate, you know, the effort put into it. This was awful. That center map was one of the worst maps I think I've ever played. Like, it had such good custom models, and it had like the jankiness that I look for. And this is how bad it was, is that it had that jank, but it was like the miserable jank. No mana regeneration, and just like very little gel between the heroes and how they interact with the units. It was just a miserable hero defense sort of survival map. Minerals I actually quite enjoy. It's either way up there and good enough or good fun time. I don't really go out my way to think, oh, I'll play a Minerals today or something like that. But I actually enjoyed it more the last time I played it because I was working out how to beat it on hard. The only thing is the map kind of finished for me because it has harder difficulties, but you have to sort of play it multiple times to build up points to then access stuff that will allow you to beat it on the harder difficulties. I personally don't like that. I get it. It'll give value to a map, and that's better if the map was a standalone game on Steam or something. But for me, I want the Warcraft 3 map to play. I want the hardest difficulty to be like a default, and you should be able to beat it. It should be doable, but it should obviously be damn hard. That's the way I like to look at it. I don't want to think, oh, I've got to play like 17 times on normal difficulty to then play one time on hard, and then like 17 times to play on hard difficulty, play one time on very hard. Meh. Mason of Ice and Death. I actually want to look this one up. I think I enjoyed this. Yeah, there you are. You just found it. That one's Maze of Ice and Death. Ah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, we got a cutscene. This is a nice jank, sort of like
You have come to
Frogger type map. I like these.
What are you guys doing?
I always like maps like this. Again, I got another bias to this kind of map. Oh, that's my bad. Pretty bad. It is like, it's like a fun trash. I don't think fun trash should maybe go up higher, to be honest. I almost want to put fun trash higher than good enough. Because, yeah, fun trash has kind of like a special place in my heart. Maybe it will go up, actually. This one was so fucking bad, though, this map. But it was funny because of how bad it was. Like, this is a weird thing. Like, I've got a different way of doing categories. Technically, this map's way worse than the maps that are in here. But I guess it kind of depends on, personally, how much I actually enjoyed it. Impossible Trash. I think we could actually put that in, like, category. I think Overclock did a really good job with that. Some maps are way too long, but the principle is really good. Really, really good. It's like a different category in itself, but I said about Dalaran University, where you're kind of given single challenges to work on as a team, and that kind of thing is stellar. 3-hour map. Like, some of these levels are so stupidly long.
Is that what I did?
But the idea is really, really good. You're going to have, like, a good time playing this, definitely. Trying to work this out. So I think that definitely deserved it. 2 hours on the Paladins. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, some bits are like impossible. Pain's Party is basically a better version of Ufa. I think we can put that in good fun time, Pain's Party. It's not a map I sort of go out of my way to play. Sometimes it feels a bit too almost regimented. Like, you know where I say I prefer things that are jank? Ufa Party is jank. Like, Pain's Party is like a more polished. I don't like things that are too polished and clean, so that's kind of a bad thing for me. But the map is, like, it does actually have some legit fun games in it. You just got to kind of find them. So I think it deserves to be up there. Even if sometimes I don't give it like a, sort of like a fair shake every now and then. Missile War, I think that's a good enough. We had a good enough time playing it. Otherwise it would go into bad if we didn't. Pumpkin TD was very well. Yeah, we haven't played that in a long time. But I think Pumpkin TD, you know, that... We spent quite a long time playing that. I think I'll put it in there. I don't have any interest to play it now that I beat on the hard, but I think, you know, for what it was and at the time, and if you guys were looking at it, you might enjoy this. So, it's a good fun map to work out and repeat over and over sort of thing. What's this? This was... I know what this looks like. This is a tower defense. I think it was actually somewhere in between jank and actually well made. There's a lot of different towers. There's a lot of stuff going on. I remember what it looks like. I can't remember how much more to describe it than that. put it in the good enough category. I don't think I would have put that any higher. Random unit is like fun trash. It's very bare basic for what it is. It just gives you like a random unit and you just go at it. But they do end up being quite entertaining games. So it's either good enough or it's fun trash. And I think there's a level of trash to that. King of the Mountain was pretty bad, to be honest. That's poor. Lisk made that map as well, but the balance design was really off. At least it had the seal, but the seal was bad. So even the thing that was fun was bad. Here's that TD. Okay. That's the one.
Read that chance. So you get 20 gold coins, random tower,
Random invasion. Yeah, you had like 2 people on each team. It was quite challenging, this map, actually. It was good. It was good. I don't think I want to put it any higher than that, though. Okay. Let's get rid of some of those. Demise of Atlantis. That was kind of like a slow, if not a little bit dull, hero defense. Like, it would either be at the bottom of good enough or just bad. I'll put it in bad because I don't want to put too much in good enough. We'll get a bit more variety. Draenei Escape. What the hell was that? Oh! That was one of those weird maps where it's like attack versus defense. And you both get a go. It's definitely good enough. I feel like the map maker was trying to do a lot with this game. Is that what he... But I think some of the balance was a bit off because I remember being kind of...
I think we've had a look.
Broken on this map. I was a bit too strong. It's very bizarre. It's kind of like a map that didn't necessarily know exactly what it wanted to be. Direct Strike, I think, is definitely like either good enough or good fun time. It goes on a little bit long though, the battles, but it's kind of like a better made castle fight. So we'll just keep it up there. Balanced Hero Survival is obviously, you know, like a level. If there was a custom Hero Survival, that should be like really good to play, then it's Balanced Hero Survival. I still only really want to do it once a week though. I'm not going to go out my way to sort of repeatedly do it, but it does deserve credit. This was something's hero defense. Or was this the tower defense? But we each had one lane and it took you like 5 minutes to get to the end of the lane. It was a bad map. It was kind of like a bad fun trash, but I don't think I could even put it in fun trash category. It was way too slow. I can't say I didn't not enjoy it though. It's just, you think BHS is fun trash? I don't know. Like, it's bouncing between there and there. We'll keep it there for now. NRG Hero Defense. Yeah, it was a hero defense. It's like a tower defense because it had like tower defense lanes, but you had a hero. You see the map, like these lanes, like you have to walk all the way up, and I took that lane stupidly. That was a good boss though. X-Hero Siege. Would I just go with the other X-Hero Siege? I think we enjoyed that more than that one. Skippy's Castle TD. We still haven't actually beaten that map properly, I don't think. I think that's good enough. You know, it's like there's good potential. Actually, yeah, it's one more middle. But there's something about it kind of seems a bit off. I don't know. Like it's trying too hard. I mean, it loses some of that fun. This was bad. Moo Generation. That was real bad. Sheep Launchers was like kind of fun for what it was, but it's kind of bad in a way as well. It's not meant to be like a very well-made map or anything like that. It's just kind of straightforward, fun physics mechanics. Sheep Tag. Yeah, we had a good time playing Sheep Tag. What the hell? Shadows over Tears. Oh, your god, yeah. That's sort of like hero defense like Dota or something like that. It's like Frostcraft. It's sort of like in a similar category, you know. Mini hero defense. Good enough / fun trash. It was fun trash, I think. Mini hero defense. It just kept throwing like bosses and units at you, and then sometimes it was legit difficult in that spaces where it felt like you were actually going to lose. But they felt also like kind of unfinished in a way. Soft Escape, where's that? Peon Olympics. That's definitely fun trash, without shadow of a doubt. Like, it's a basic map, but it is enjoyable to play. Laser Rockets was where I think only one tower was good. I think it was like German TD. I think it had a lot of German descriptions for the towers and stuff like that. It was okay. Lumber TD, I'll just put that in good enough. I'm not a big fan of like the free-for-all style maps like that, personally. Even though it does well for OP Monster. Soft Escape is in the third row, is it? Maybe I'm blind, I can't see it. I'll come across it eventually. Hero Defense Vietnamese was actually good enough. It's a sort of 4 lanes. It was pretty basic though in some spots. Some parts were difficult, some parts were way too easy. It went a bit long, items were a bit clunky. It could go in bad, but I think we enjoyed it enough. Stripe game was definitely trash. Weakest Link is always sort of like a kind of like fun trash slash good fun time slash good enough, that kind of thing. I think you could put it in good fun time because it's fun to sort of see people F up. If not, it does go a bit long. Maybe it doesn't quite deserve that higher regard. So like fun trash. This was another map made by Lisk. I put it only in bad, not because it was necessarily bad, it's just that it had bits missing that could have made it much better than it was. The characters were too slow, it felt like it took a long time to get any real engagement, and then it was pretty straightforward. As long as you could just hold off the enemy, you just keep attacking their base and they can't really do anything to stop you. World of Sidonia was actually really well made. I think that's definitely good enough. We got so far in it. I don't think anyone's got their save code now. But it's definitely a well-made sort of RPG faring map where you go to islands and you explore and you beat that island, you go to the next one and you level up. And you need to be a certain level to get to stages. The hell is this one? Is this where I made someone fight? It says Magic the Gathering. Ah. Hang on a second, it's got a very similar icon to this. Very similar. That was pretty trash, that map. The balance was god-awful. It was kind of somewhat fun, though. I don't know. I don't think it gets fun trash. I don't think it gets fun trash. We'll just put it in the bad category. There was one... It was the guy on the right-hand side who had, like, the best stuff. And it was just impossible to beat him. Just eventually just ends up beating everyone. I actually felt like I did quite well on that map, but my units were trash. EO Origins, we put that in good enough. It's actually well made in the class design sense. But my goodness, we got into some trouble with that map. Definitely. It was good because I could steal from Overclock, though. Undead Invasion. I think I quite enjoyed this one. That would be like another high up on the good enough, if not good fun time. Just refresh my memory. Just for Kitson, we'll do all round. Oh no! No, this isn't the one I was thinking of actually. This is the one that had like a hero that had like an ultimate that stunned everyone for 12 seconds. And I mean literally everyone. Anywhere on the map. Gold for my team. And a disconnect maybe. Well, that was fair. Yeah. So that's... I think we could put that in trash, that one actually. Where is it? It's not as bad. It's like a higher, definitely higher up out in comparison to these. Apadoro? Apadoro, we had one guy beat that, didn't we? I did really well in it for a long time, and then I just lost. It was a challenging tower defense. I think I had some fun playing it. I don't think it could go any much higher than that, though. OPTD. We'll have to put that in trash. Just want to refresh my memory on exactly how that looks. That's the amazing one. Remember when he made it like 3 sections of amazing? And it was like, ugh, that's just like, it's just a headache to deal with 3 sections. But it's better when you got like 1 section. You build around that. Some towers in this, it just feels like they're so much better than others. It feels like I'm a little disconnected when I'm playing the OP's tower defense maps like this. He does a lot of sort of like interesting stuff with how the towers behave and interact with each other, but it doesn't feel like it's very easy to tell what the hell's going on, so I think that would go like good enough, to be honest. Again, if I find it again, I'll... Oh, there we go. What have we got? Custom Hero Revival. Do you remember when I bugged this map? I did like a charge into one of the circles just as the level started, and it like screwed the whole map over. It's kind of like another custom hero survival that had like good potential, but then it gets a little bit too big for its boots and clunky and laggy with all the extra spells and stuff like that. So it's good enough. It's not like a good fun time or anything. This was trash, but like fun trash. That was an RPG where we went adventuring in another sort of simplistic style, point A to point B adventure. But it gradually gets even more dumb as you go along. Footman Arena, you know, it's like Bossius Maximus. It's just, the waiting time in between was like brutal though. But otherwise, yeah, good enough. Hero of the Empire. I'm sure someone's going to be like upset that I'm even having to look this up. I just want to refresh my memory. So, welcome to Hero of the Empire. There wasn't this one, the map that has like
Fireball
issues.
doesn't care.
I like maps like this to a degree, where you're fighting up a lane in the hero defense style. But then there's inevitably like someone that knows the map better, or this one had like a few secrets, and there was a particular hero, and if you buy the certain items, he seemed to see it way better than the rest of us. So I think it loses some of that charm for me. So I just go good enough. Didn't you get kicked for farming too much and not ending the level? I can't remember. Soft Escape is trash. This was the one actually came up on the channel recently, Steel Blood and Glory. It's pretty bad, to be honest, that map. There's something charming about it, but it's not a good map, I don't think. All-Stars Defense, I think I'm going to put that in trash, because that's the one that doesn't have the mana regeneration. He was going for something like, yeah, like a roguelike where you pick up items and stuff and you get mana back from that, and the creeps respawn. But there was something kind of like, I don't know, it's not that enjoyable about this map. For me, I didn't like it all that much. Like, if it was just done slightly differently, I might really like this map, but no, I felt like it was trying to be too... Again, like, make it on Steam or something. It was almost like trying to be its own separate genre, practically. So, I'll put that in trash. Yep. Maze of Ice and Dife. I still never found that one, did I? I looked at it. Oh, no, didn't I sort this out? This is the one with the fun, janky cutscene. Yeah. Did we play that twice this year or something? Or did I just not put it in the place? It's like an ice escape kind of map, but I don't know, again, if it necessarily goes in that. I think it would be like fun trash. Survival Chaos is trash. Takeshi's Castle, that definitely goes way up there. I like Takeshi's Castle. Again, that's kind of like a lot of sort of fun Dalaran Arena kind of thing. You just didn't add it in. Oh, I see. That's what it was. Wintermore Wars is pretty bad. Funny, but bad, really. Let's face it. Werewolf Transylvania is definitely a good enough map or a good fun time. I put it in good enough because we played it so many times now at this point. I don't think I can necessarily keep it in good fun time. Like, I probably prefer to play Takeshi's Castle in comparison. Hero Line War is pretty freaking bad. Like, the thing that frustrates me about that is that actually has, like, really good potential to be fun. But it's kind of like the same dilemma that Footman Wars has, where there's no really good balanced version of it. Like, one moment you're doing fine, and then the next moment there's a mob that's hitting you for like literally 78 times more than the last mob was hitting you. And you need to buy like 6 rings of plus 200 armor or something just to not freaking get 2-shot. So, the actual idea though of like fighting against an enemy team and battling against their sends and building up income and then sending against them and then interacting with them is really good on paper. I just haven't seen it done well in the map.
Don't feed the trolls. I think that was like a fun sort of free-for-all style. We had like different trolls to pick from. This is again like an altered melee map that I've put in the custom games list for some reason. But back in the day I get so OCD I'd change the whole list just to accommodate that. But now I don't think I'm going to bother.
Advanced financing.
Yeah, it was an altered melee basically. It was kind of like silly. I think we just put it in like trash or not trash, like bad. Because I got too much in there. too much in the middle category there. Good enough. Hero Adventures. I think that was between fun trash and good enough sort of thing. I remember this one. I need to look that up. It went on a really long time, this. And then the last boss had like 5 different phases. Yeah, I think this deserves a higher accolade because it was trying to do some really interesting stuff. The levels went on for a long time. It took us a long time to work out how to beat this map. There's definitely... The heroes were all pretty different, and they had like unique abilities which made them fun to play. Some were definitely a lot lower tier than others. I think the levels went on a bit long, to be honest, each section, but I think it's a well-made map. Because it's kind of like an RPG slash hero defense survival. Don't think it's S tier. We put it in good fun time. I'm not planning on revisiting it though at any point. But I'm only putting it in this category because it was actually... The guy who made it actually had some really strong ideas. Like, it wasn't just like some hero defenses where it's the same level for 99 levels or something. It's the same thing. Monsters come out from the gate and then you kill them. And it does that 99 times. It took you to different places. Different scenarios. So that was... You know, I think we had fun with Tomb of Jaracon. That was like an RPG with puzzles and stuff like that. We could probably put that in fun trash. Maybe refresh. Oh no, it's not actually the one I was thinking of. The other one I'm thinking of might be a ring. I think Remy just took it. This is actually really quite nicely made. In a sense of aesthetics, but I think the level design wasn't necessarily the most enjoyable to play. I don't really remember having a fantastic time playing this, apart from obviously how cool it looks. Yeah, you had to play a lot of times for other characters and stuff like that. I put it in good enough, you know. Did I put it over here or something? Yeah. What was the one I was thinking of then? See if it's in here. Maybe we didn't play it last year, because I can't see it actually. But there was another kind of RPG where we adventured through like this kind of sunken tile set. Zombies, let's look up zombies. Zombie keys. This is going to be trash, surely. Alright, so... Yeah, this... Oh my goodness! This looks pretty bad. Oh yeah, this is bad. Because the ghouls were too strong. The idea was just die and become a ghoul and then kill the other players. Kind of like a troll versus elves kind of thing, but just definitely bad. It's kind of fun. Like I don't really have anything against these maps that I've put in bad category necessarily. Test of Faith, Test of Trash. I don't have to be nice to Stylo, so I'm going to put in trash. Obviously, it doesn't necessarily deserve to be there, but I'm going to do that because I can. Because I'm me. And if you've got a problem with that, then screw you. Upgrade is pretty bad, but it's kind of like a fun bad. I should have really had, like, if I had another category, I'd have, like, fun bad. But again, I can't be bothered to go over all of this again. This has gone on long enough. So you can kind of, like, I'm explaining it as I'm doing it. So if it upsets you enough, you can just watch it back or whatever. And just, when I put things in a certain place, I'm explaining why I'm doing it at least. I'm not just putting it there. So yeah, it's a map where it's like a Dota, but it's really basic. 3 players each side, top versus bottom. And you can spawn units and kill them and get strong. The ideas there, in principle, are good, but kind of straightforward. Welcome to the stream, Styler. Ufa Party, I think that's a good fun time. It's similar to Pain's Party. You know, you can have some fun playing it if it doesn't crash or something like that. The only problem with Ufa Party is some of those levels. I like the jank of it, and the jank levels like the Frog and Murloc one and the Archers and stuff like that. They're really fun to play, but it has some really dumb maps that just like survive whilst this creature slowly kills you, and then everyone just hides in the corner. Like, they're really bad. But what can you do? I've got a little bias towards Ufa, so I'll put it up higher than it deserves, probably.
Okay, very hard. Scummy agility.
Ah, yeah. We played this map quite a lot, actually. I really enjoyed this map.
So we've got...
I think we played it, not necessarily to death, but we've kind of worked this map out now. We've got a good niche. It's all about sort of doing the side objectives, aka the PvE stuff on the sides of the map, in between the wave sends. And then you get boss sends, which make it trickier to go and find
it's a good
time
hero
for
to
it.
take into a map like this. So you can sort
Some
of...
heroes are kind of rubbish, though. And they have, like, almost no impact. The Last Stand. So I think we put it in good enough. But it's, yeah, Sim done a good job on that, basically. If it was a bit more jank and a bit more fun looking, I think I would put that higher. Necro zombie defense. There's multiple different zombie ones coming up, and one of them is really bloody good. But it ain't this one. Wait, this is the single player. No, it's not. What the hell is this then? I'm trying to remember now. Oh, God.
Like the farms.
Yeah. Was it Stone? What's his face? Woodstone. Found the one place on this map that actually you just don't get destroyed. I would have actually stood a good chance, but one of you guys' frickin' team killed me. It's the guy down here with the corpse. Sent the zombies to my base when I was trying to still set up. This is a good enough map, definitely. It's like, it's good enough, but it's a bit claustrophobic and it doesn't give you any space to do anything other than just sort of like progressively get destroyed. Was it Rami who screwed me over? Someone screwed me over. I made a gap for them to come in, and then they just derped out, and then didn't do anything, so I had to rebuild, and then that was time taken away from putting more defenses up, and then eventually that got me bloody killed. Put it in there. Random unit draft. It's like a random unit. I don't think it's as fun as random unit, though. I put it in the good enough. But it's a very similar deal. You have a choice of like 3 to 4 heroes and you fight against each other. It's kind of like the free-for-all bit in balanced hero survival. Probably not as good though. Shadow Hero Siege, you know, definitely a good enough map, but not necessarily that enjoyable. It felt a bit too easy for the longest time until like the last bit when it definitely wasn't too easy. Otherwise, it's kind of paint by numbers. There was quite a lot of effort put into the map. I could appreciate that part of it, but I don't know. It just felt a bit droll. Tower Defense Tycoon is actually a really well-made single-player map, but it's not perfect and it's not quite as jank as I'd like. So, it goes in the good enough category. What the hell is this one? That's just me being lazy and not doing a proper thumbnail for it. No idea what that is. That's called Survival, is it? It's a lazy name as well. Was that the one with Vimp and Zoom?
It's so basically Moon Crystal plus
There you go, you can hear that.
3 moons.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That's kind of a bad map. You know, it is like fun, like these kind of things. Again, like this is where I need the category bad fun, but I can't be bothered now, so I'll just explain it. There's like fun trash, which is definitely like way up there. Then there's like bad fun, where it's like it's clearly not a good map, but you kind of had a good time playing it, so it would be like that. But I wouldn't necessarily put it good enough. Like, it's a weird way to do it. I think I'd definitely just put it in bad. This is obviously a category. The witty quiz. There you go, Stylo. You can say you made it to the top of the list. What do we got here? ST War? Oh god, yeah, she's gonna find WTiiWarcraft. What the hell is that one called? This year you had better thumbnails. I had to edit some of the ones from last year. Ah, okay. My thumbnail game is on point. Depends how creative I'm feeling as well. I do all of them, so... ST's War. Okay, thank you for the link. Oh, can I remember this one. This is kind of challenging in a way, and then I kind of screwed up because I was doing well, but then I wanted to experiment with what I thought was like the strongest stuff. But it turns out it's one of those cases where the strongest stuff costs a lot of money, and it's actually not as good as the stuff that you're currently putting down. And I think I started to leak at that point. Yeah, this is like a castle fight tower defense. You sort of fight versus the mobs that come through your tower. That's the tower defense part, and then the mobs that leak go down into here where you fight. It's a good enough map. It had potential. Like a map like that actually had good potential, but as you can see, it got a little bit messy. Town fight. Yeah, that's good enough. Definitely. Again, kind of like a hero MOBA between Frostcraft and all that. Not quite as refined, I don't think, but it had some interesting aspects, and the combat's pretty fun, but there's something kind of like missing, definitely, in that. Wintermore. There's so many different versions of Wintermore. Is this like the single survival, but everyone has a go? Or is this like an actual team, Wintermore? No, this is the single one. Really crazy. I had the one that built random towers. I think that was definitely good enough. I don't think I would put them like the super fun categories, eh? And I think the last boss, this was the one that had the air levels that were like 3 times harder than the actual ground levels. So everyone would just leak a bunch of lives on the air levels. Even when you tried to build as much anti-air as possible. Who wants to be a millionaire? I think that's like... I don't know. Can I put that in good fun time? Because every time I play it, I get screwed over. Good enough or fun trash? I can't work that out. Yeah, I think we'll just keep it good enough. Barely. World of Warcraft classic, RPG adventure. Kind of very aesthetically pleasing. Bit simple. In the sense of, I don't know if there's that much going on with like the combat when you're fighting against the mobs. Definitely good enough though. Like it's high up there in the good enough. Like you can have a... It's like not as fun as like Heroes Beta, which is way more basic. And Heroes Beta is like a worse map than that. But I enjoy Heroes Beta more. It's that kind of sort of thing. Orbcraft. It was this dodgeball type map, wasn't it? You would pick up orbs and then throw them at each other. I think this one is actually better than dodgeball though. It's like quite fun. But there wasn't too much to go on. It was just a kind of a pick-up play. It's me getting screwed over for some reason. But there's a surprise, me getting screwed over. Pick up the orbs and then you chuck them at other players and you're in like small teams. Orb of light. Each orb has its own purpose. So that one polymorphed. Gangbanged. Alright, yeah, that's a good enough map, you know. It does its purpose. It's not fantastic or anything like that. Zombie survival and zombie defense. Well, one of them goes in the category. And I know which one does that, but I want to look up zombie survival. Just to refresh. Oh, I know what this one was. Didn't we have some player die at the start and then try to screw us over? And then he claimed he was trying to help me out by blocking off the zombies. Was that Rami? Possibly. Full economy until I actually... This is one of those maps that's like easily good enough. Like I kind of have a little bias towards these maps. It's kind of a simple sort of setup. You got economy, so you put down stuff that gives you money over time. And you just have to keep upgrading. It's a bit of a trolls versus elves kind of deal, except versus the AI. And they just keep throwing themselves at you. Think of a more basic version, a much more basic version of minerals or something like that. And then we got stuck right at the end, didn't we? So yeah, that's a good enough map. Zombie defense, though, I'm putting that up here in the category because I really like that map. I was actually really pleasantly surprised with that. That was sort of like a Baron's TD kind of deal, you know, where you sort of like get your own little location.
Left, maybe.
It's top left or
That's
whatever.
alright.
It's a similar deal. You sort
You
of wall off.
Gold. You didn't have to show
You
me
put
the
down
gold.
farms, they generate money. You got to be building up lumber to then get your tech, and you have to tech because you won't be able to beat the waves that come up later as they get stronger and stronger. And you're trying to be as greedy as you can be. So I haven't walled off properly yet because that's time and money.
And in turn,
For as
I
long
will
as you
leave
can.
that.
And you just got to survive for a while. But I actually thought this map was really good.
Then replace that.
The road thing was a bit clunky.
Yeah, sorry.
And
Let you die. So
There's
I
a
can get
few
the
tricks we
Starfall
learned
there.
to sort of like give ourselves away. But it was really hard to
Sacrifices
beat.
were
Really hard to beat this map for quite a long time. Oh wow, I didn't know it got that many views. Obviously people like this one. 81,000 views. Was it Nazgrel did well? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Nazgrel did well. I think he showed us kind of how to play this a little bit. And Woodstone was good at it too. Oh, may as well thumbs up the video. It's a good video. Why wouldn't you thumbs it up? Alright, well there you go. So, here you can see the trash. I'm not going to read them all out. I've kind of explained as I go. Here's the bad. Here's the good enough. Which is, yeah, looking a bit bloated to be honest. That's good enough. Then there's the fun trash. There's the good fun times. Pretty much like hero defenses or team mini games, adventures, that kind of stuff will always go up quite high. I don't even know if that necessarily deserves to be there, but I think I did enjoy playing the Simtimes map quite a lot actually, but we'll keep it there. And yeah, there's zombie defense, impossible trash I really like. 8-bit raid, you know, that's definitely really freaking an amazing map. I don't think you guys gave it as much credit as you should have done. I felt like that should have done better than it did. You remember that sort of like mushroom escape map with all the animated mushrooms and stuff like that, and that whole looked like a cartoon. It's done by the same guy. Like, this was incredible. It's only got 8,900 views. Like, it's sacrilege basically. This deserves way more. It is really fun to play, and you work as a team, and it's really straightforward. And each boss is different, so it's kind of a similar category in that way to sort of like... It's not like Dalaran University or anything like that, but it's like, here's your challenge. Work as a team to defeat it, that kind of thing. Hey!
incredible, though.
Actually did a shit ton of damage, apparently. Oh yeah, look at that. Top damage, as usual. That's me. Best of the best. Highest quality there is. Pig Farm Survival was so stupidly good, though. That was... If you haven't seen that, just go watch that. Because just the cutscenes alone, the story was just amazing. It's like a multiplayer survival. Hang in there. Different levels every time because it would always get more and more escalating. It has a bunch of pigs in it, so obviously that's going to be good by itself. You know, you can't go too far wrong with that. It is what it is. Pig's gonna pig, you know. And yeah. DL Hero Siege just has a special place in my heart. Impossible Trash. Balanced Hero Survival is either, you know, that could go down maybe 1 or 2, but basically it's a really well made custom hero survival. This is because I'm biased. And that zombie defense, I explained that as well. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this tier list. Yours might be different. I'm sure it would be. But there you go. The best custom maps of 2021. If you enjoyed this, thumbs up and see if we can get 81,000 views on this video.